I was told this really strange fact recently. You know, you can always see your nose, but your brain just filters it out because it's always there. At first, it feels like one of those random facts that I would forget 5 minutes later, but somehow it kind of stuck with me. My name is Nguyet, and I have this tendency to rush through life, checking things off without really letting things sink in until they have already been behind me. So there I was, looking up from my nose, wondering what else I have been overlooking. Not because it's hidden, but because it's become so familiar that I have stopped noticing it. So let's find out by paying a little more attention.
If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Dang girl, you did it again. But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to keep it tough? Will I ever settle down, happy with the here and now? When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough? Ever be enough? If only I could build a tower, pierce right through the clouds, saxophones at every hour. Who hasn't heard of me now? Then will I have had enough of trying to keep myself real tough? Will I ever settle down, steady even when it gets loud? When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough? Ever be enough?
The other day, I was at the Toronto Reference Library, which is a place I have been to a few times before but never properly looked around. And as I was about to head out, I stumbled upon this random postcard exhibition. Sometimes the most interesting things really are just there, hidden in plain sight, right? It was just so fascinating to see the different postcard designs and see how the city evolved through the lens of the artist. As someone who has moved around quite a lot, I had to learn to not get too attached to home decors. But collecting small things like postcards and magnets are still my favorite things to do because they don't take up too much space and I can take them around wherever I move on to next. In Toronto, my favorite place to find postcards is probably the Art Gallery Ontario, which is a classic place to visit. They have a lot of beautiful art and city postcards, so check it out if you're ever in the city.
Happy with the way it is now. When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough?
That random exhibition visit reminded me to look around to see what's already in my environment. It's something that I tend to forget to do, especially when life gets busy, but that's why I was so looking forward to this weekend to just rest a bit and see what comes my way. On the weekend, we decided to head to Mississauga to get some tofu pudding. Do you remember that scene in Ratatouille when the food critic takes one bite of the food and how that instantly transported him back to his childhood? That's exactly how I felt when I ate tofu pudding again. Back when I was a kid in Vietnam, in the summertime, my grandma would come over to visit. She would get me and my siblings these cups of tofu pudding. We would have this very specific metal spoon to scoop up the soft, silken tofu and have it with the sweet ginger tapioca syrup on top. And I feel like I have forgotten about this memory completely for so many years, and then now, more than a decade later, having it again in a totally different country reminded me so much of this part of my childhood. And since we're craving that nostalgic flavor so much, we of course had to get more snacks. As I indulged in these nostalgic snacks, there was something else just as sweet. It's spring! Spring is finally back in Toronto. I love spring so much because the sun doesn't set at 4:30 p.m. anymore. The days are longer, flowers are blooming, and people are just happier in general. It's so funny that as soon as the weather hits above 10 degrees, I completely forgot about the cold. I can just walk out the door quickly without having to bundle up in so many layers like a month ago. This video is also a reminder for myself to remember to take things in, even when there's still a task waiting, even when there's still emails to answer, laundry to fold, because sometimes there are things that are like our nose, just right there, just waiting for us to take in. Thank you so much for watching. In my next video, I'll take you around some of my favorite Vietnamese spots in Toronto. But it would not be a typical food review vlog because through it all, I will tell you the memories that make each place feel so special to me. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see from me. I post every 2 weeks, so I'll see you again very soon. Take care.